All right. Hello, this is Alexis, and this is Mad Fans of the podcast. And so, does everybody want to introduce themselves real quick?
Sure thing. I am James Hodge. I am a fan of the classic series as well as the new series. I am your Who guru.
And my name is Scott. I have been watching Doctor Who for about 2.5 years now. I am more so a fan of the classic series, but I do also quite enjoy New Who.
And just to let you know a bit about myself, I've been watching the show for about a year and a half, 2 years. I started out with the new show, but now as I go back to the original, I'm starting to like that just as much, as maybe not a teeny bit more. So,
Oh yeah, new
uh,
stuff is awesome. Well, they're starting to do throwbacks a lot of the new stuff,
I
so
know, and
Yes, and I
really
love
it's
awesome.
it.
so fun,
The
and I
great
feel
It
like it's
really
going
is.
over.
intelligence.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
going over so many people's heads who are like, I don't get
It really
this.
it
is.
yes.
What?
And I have semi spoilers for everybody when we get to that point. So
Okay, okay,
I yes. So let
okay.
us press on.
Let's start off. Okay, so who wants to start off with their favorite doctor?
I guess I can since
Okay,
I'm anxious pansy to go first.
And the
okay.
showman.
Yeah, I have. I think my favorite Doctor would have to be Sylvester McCoy, who played the Seventh Doctor. Um, I got a chance to meet him in February at Gallifrey One, and he was an absolute sweetheart, absolutely hilarious. He is the definition of the crazy man. Um, seriously, in all of his panels, he played the spoons, which is something he's very notorious for, and he played them on everybody's heads, which I thought was absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
Um,
hysterical.
and I think Sylvester McCoy's Doctor very dark, very thoughtful, planning stuff out, very much like Colin Baker in the beginning, and very matured very quickly, which is something I also absolutely adore.
I-
So
I'm
that's
I'm sure they
yeah.
made him mature quickly because they were going to have a long drawn out maturity with Colin Baker, and that didn't exactly
And
get to
they
happen.
yeah, they wanted to try the very quick maturity with Sylvester McCoy, and that well, we can all see where that ended. Hell, dude, it was the '80s.
It really was. My favorite Doctor is going to be or is definitely Colin Baker, and I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. Why? Well, it's not so much that his era of the show was good. In fact, in my personal opinion, he and Perry were really the only things worth watching in his entire tenure. The writing and editing were just very poor. And
Perry, or as I like to call her, the walking breasts.
uh, um, but if any of you guys want to know some good Colin Baker stories, now granted they are audio adventures, definitely check out Jubilee and The Holy Terror. They are from the Big Finish Audio Productions. Alexis.
Groovy. Alexis.
Okay, so sorry, I just wanted to make sure you were done. My favorite is the Ninth Doctor, and I will admit part of that is like personal bias from that being my the first Doctor that I've actually watched, and also I
Fantastic.
really like Christopher
Fantastic.
Eccleston, just not even as a doctor in particular, like as an actor, seeing him in
Hmm.
other stuff.
Oh yeah, he's in the upcoming Thor movie.
Yes,
He
he
is,
is.
yes. He plays the villain,
Yeah, the
that
antagonist, which is of
that
nice
guy.
change. Yeah, that guy with the face.
Yeah,
With the thing
he does that thing,
He
and
does.
and
If he says
stuff happens.
fantastic during Thor, I just might have a nerdgasm. Like Thor, fantastic, like that,
just like
uh,
that.
just like that.
fantastic.
Shut up, Dan.
I
Okay, okay.
I
So
think we have lost our train of thought here.
Yeah, a little bit.
next, favorite favorite companion or side character, I guess. Or
Alexis, you should go first, and then we'll
I
do
I will go
opposite. We'll
first.
do counterclockwise.
I'll
Okay.
always be in the middle.
Favorite. And I was like, I'm gonna think of a good answer for this one. Gotta. And I feel like I can't say Sarah Jane because I feel like that's just the obvious.
That's
Yeah.
everybody's
That's
Okay.
everybody's answer.
Favorite
So
companion that's not Sarah Jane.
yes, I feel like that should be a rule because
it's
otherwise,
it's it's almost mandatory to like Sarah Jane. That would be one of those
I
things that
don't pity you. I don't comprehend. Like I can understand why certain people don't like certain companions and whatever,
uh,
but just sometimes it's just like no, you
yeah.
have to like her.
Yeah. Wait, who Rose?
Oh no, Sarah Jane.
Oh, okay.
No, don't even. I'm not even gonna go there. God, no. Um,
Oh, so who's your favorite companion?
I'm gonna have to say Martha Jones, who everybody hates. So I'm just gonna say her because everybody hates her.
I don't hate her.
I just
Uh,
dislike her with an extreme passion.
I'm
Okay,
I'm
okay,
very iffy about her. I don't not like her, and I don't like her. So it's yeah.
okay. So here's
Well,
I thought.
Prima was another person I got to meet Gallifrey one. She was an absolute sweetheart. Somebody that I would love to meet again, but I absolutely hated her as Martha Jones and her stupid cousin, Dr. Jones or whatever she is.
Who died to this?
Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones. Which one?
Well, I was thinking about this today because these are the kind of things that I randomly think about. Is if she would have been a better companion for another doctor,
That
like
might have been it.
maybe like an older, more mature doctor, because she's kind of a medical student. Maybe like I don't know, the third doctor, get rid of Joe
Yeah.
Grant or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that would have made the series a little bit better.
Where that
Well,
wasn't that awkward,
or
like I'm in love with you, but you don't love
Liz
me kind of
Shaw.
thing.
well, I mean, the whole premise behind Martha Jones joining the Doctor was that she thought the Doctor was coming on to her, and she wanted a snog. She wanted to go in the snog box, so
Yeah.
so to speak. So I joining a young Doctor and having a hormonally challenged black woman being part of the TARDIS crew, that probably wasn't a very good choice. Uh, I totally agree with you. I think she might have been better for an older doctor. That way, he would have been less appealing to her, so that she could focus more on the learning aspect of the science rather than trying to get in David Tennant's pants, which is something any person, straight or gay or bi, wants to do in their life. So
Polysexual.
I no matter what your sexual orientation is, getting into David Tennant's pants should be number one thing on your to-do list.
Um,
That took a really weird turn for the worse, and I
Okay.
apologize.
um, I I still say, and this is a little off topic, but I still say if they decide to get a well-known actor for the next incarnation of the Doctor, I really do believe that they should go with Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman,
Ah,
amazing.
yes.
I want to
I
see Alan
want
Rickman as a villain, excuse me. I think it
Uh,
would be fun to see him revise his role as an antagonist, or maybe even a
he's
protagonist.
he makes a good protagonist. I've seen him. Oh God, I don't even remember what the movie was, but he played a
Harry Potter.
protagonist. It was no, he played an antagonist in that one. But
there was
all right.
there
Uh,
was this joke on just one quick side note, I
yep,
swear.
go ahead.
There was this quick joke on Tumblr that I was like about who should play the next Doctor, and somebody was like Chef Gordon Ramsay, and I want to
Oh
see
God,
that.
yes,
I
that would
would
be awesome.
pay good money.
I would drop the fandom completely and burn all of my costumes if Chef Gordon Ramsay was the next Doctor.
Aw.
I would disown the fandom. Oh well, that got very violent very quickly.
it
Wow.
it
Uh,
did
so
it hit a low note.
it,
Okay, my
it hit a very low note. Yes.
my favorite companion now, besides Sarah Jane, and this answer has changed a little bit since the first time we did this podcast. Um, it's kind of a two-way tie, and it's a cross kind of between Leela and Romana One.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
They
Mary Tam,
Yeah.
gorgeous, gorgeous.
yes,
Mary Tam.
um, Although Lala Ward wasn't bad looking either, you got to admit that. But
She was kind of mousy.
she was, but I
And
like.
trust me, we all knew that Tom Baker was getting a little bit on the side. So,
Yeah, I like the British look, so yeah. Uh, James, your favorite companion that's not Sarah Jane?
well, it's going to be a little bit unusual, but it's a tie between Mel and Ace, mostly because Mel is one of those girls that nobody really likes,
No.
but she's so smart and she's so brilliant for who she is. Uh, I mean, I think she was a mathematician, and they picked her up on the wheel. Wait, no,
That
no, that
was
was
Zoe.
yeah, that was Zoe. I'm sorry. They picked her up at some sort of 21st century kind of I don't know, pick-uppery. I don't know, wherever you picked up Mel. Uh, and she's so smart and so brilliant, and she displays it so well, but she screams a lot, and that's what makes me want to strangle her.
Yeah.
Now,
I know.
my
And the
ace,
carrot juice.
yes, oh, ugh, carrot juice. But Ace, the gorgeous Sophie Aldred, the
Yes.
brilliant, she was a young companion for an older doctor. It worked so well. And she, if the series had continued on, the Doctor would have been training Ace to be the first human Time Lord. They were supposed to go back to Gallifrey, and she would have become the first human Time Lord with Time Lord DNA and basically be genetically modified. However, this did not go on as planned. Um, Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred ended up doing a spin-off series where it was the Professor and Sophie. I think that's what it was called, and it was very, very similar to the Doctor and Ace adventures, but without the breaking copyright laws, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
He also did
I
another spinoff called The Foot Doctor, but
Yes, that
yes,
too, which is also hilarious.
it is.
But I think Ace definitely because she had so much potential, and she's showing off her potential in a lot of the audio adventures. And I think actually little known fact, Sophie Aldred was supposed to take over for Elizabeth Sladen when Sarah Jane Adventures decided to take a turn for the worse. Sophie Aldred was supposed to replace Sarah Jane, and at one point in time, Sarah Jane was supposed to meet Ace because after Ace had left the Doctor, she went and created her own fireworks company, and she
Of course
started
she would.
her own charity. Yes,
She
so
is
which is
the
kind of awesome, man.
she is the only
Yeah,
character in Doctor Who to ever beat a Dalek with a baseball bat.
that too, which is also another funny story behind that for any of you who want to look up that funny story. The Dalek that she was supposed to be beating up, the first take, they had a stunt Dalek and they had the real Dalek. Well, we all know that real Daleks take months and months of time to make. And she took a baseball bat to the real Dalek, thinking it was the stunt Dalek,
Oh,
and there was still a
Oh,
person inside, and she broke it to hell. And needless to say, she was a little bit embarrassed about that. So
I can
but it
bet.
made for an amazing scene.
it did. It made for a great scene, and the bloopers are just as amazing.
I have not seen the
So
bloopers. I shall have to look
Oh,
at those.
well, the bloopers with Sylvester McCoy are absolutely hilarious. Seeing him or hearing him say "fuck" is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Speaking
I
of
think
that,
I
the
might make it my ringtone, actually.
the Tom Baker bloopers when he asks K9 a question and K9 responds and basically says he doesn't know, and then Tom says, "You never fucking know the answer, do you?" I loved that
Okay.
scene so
Oh,
much.
Tom Baker, gotta love him.
Oh, Tom Baker. But not to cut you guys off, but to keep this going.
Oh
Okay.
well, I'm done
So,
with
Yeah.
my stuff.
so favorite episode, story, book, whatever,
Uh,
audio thing.
that's like choosing which one of my children I'd like to sacrifice.
Well, you're gonna have to sacrifice one. I
Let's
have the pit
do you
of
mind
lava ready.
do you do you mind if we narrow it down like favorite classic episode and then
Yeah,
favorite new episode? Would that work?
I'd be okay
From
Well,
with that.
Eccleston forward and
what
then
about
from McGann back?
what about the audio adventures?
Oh, well that's a different
Because
story.
that's obviously going to be where I'm going with that.
Uh,
Well, let's do classic
and
TV
I
episode.
won't have anything to say for the audio adventures. To be honest, it's one of those things. It's like I need to download these onto my iPod. So I can
Yes,
listen, but yes.
Let's
definitely.
just do favorite classic televised episode and then favorite new episode. I think that would work better for our favor. So Scott, why don't you go first?
All right. Uh, favorite classic episode, and I know this is a full arc, but the City of Death. I loved the witty
Oh yes.
humor. I loved John Cleese guest starring in the episode, and it was just on perfect form. And the special effects were, of course, terrible and awesome. Um, favorite New Who episode? I'm going to have to say the end of time. I love seeing John Sim lip sync and dance to "I Can't Decide" by the Scissor Sisters. I thought that was incredible. And side note, favorite audio adventure. I'm going to have to go with Jubilee. While the Holy Terror was awesome, Jubilee lets you see kind of it lets you see more inside of the Daleks and seeing what would happen if the Daleks got persecuted. And the there is a scene in there where the Doctor seems to lose all hope, and it was incredibly powerful. Whoever's next, go ahead.
Okay.
Alexis, you go
I'll
next.
go next. Yeah. Okay. So favorite classic, it's between the Aztecs, which I said last week, and I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but I do, and I just like
It was a good
the
one.
story, and I have a soft spot for the historical episodes.
And of course, he accidentally gets engaged.
Yes.
That damn cup of chocolate.
It's just thought it was chocolate.
The
And
Doctor has a weird habit of accidentally becoming engaged to a lot of people.
I
That
know.
that seems
Although
to be a common theme in his life.
he skipped several regenerations where he didn't get engaged at all. So
As far as we know.
Does
as
he
far as
want a medal?
there's
I mean, I
always
don't.
there's always going to be audio adventures that I haven't listened to, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so many.
you who? I'm gonna have to say, just because I've been rewatching stuff because a friend is, so I'm basically watching New Who for the second time, is the Vincent and the Doctor in those episodes.
Oh my goodness,
I
yes.
cried. I cry at everything, so this doesn't really count, but I bawled like a baby.
That is definitely my favorite Matt Smith episode.
Well, wait, which one is it?
Vincent and the Doctor.
Oh
The
yes,
Vincent
yes.
Van Gogh ones.
Oh,
Oh,
that is
at
a
the
great
end,
episode. That's a great
it
staple
it
episode.
brings tears to my eyes, and
Yeah.
I'd like to think I'm manly, but
Manly enough
uh,
not to
I'm.
have the tears.
I know I'm not.
One manly tear rolled down.
One manly
Yes.
tear was shed that day. Oh,
Such a
well,
beautiful.
I
So
guess
your turn.
my turn. Well, let's see here. Looking back on classic episodes, I would have to say I loved Logopolis, the last Tom Baker episode where he regenerates into Peter Davison. Logopolis, mainly because I absolutely love the burgundy costume, and I actually own a very nice burgundy costume myself. And
Yes. That's
you can see a lot of what is going on in the doctor's head. This is the first time that we see Tom Baker's doctor being very serious and finally deciding that he has no choice, that he has to work with the master, and there is no choice whether or not he has to. I mean, even though he absolutely hates it. And this is the first time. Well, this is not the first time, but this is one of those times where we see the master finally winning, and the doctor ends up dropping all of those, all that way, and ends up, regenerating at the bottom of the satellite tower. Um, so that one's a really good one. Let's see here. My favorite new episode out of, well, let's see here. I think Hyde, the newest Matt Smith episode, Hyde,
not
was an
newest.
well,
Uh,
not the newest, but out of the newer season, Hyde was a good one. So was Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
Yes, even
Um,
though I've heard a lot
I
of
yes,
flack about that.
I
That
even though I liked Hyde, I really liked Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, and I guess we'll get into this later, except for
yes,
the end
yes.
yeah, the
We'll talk
end.
about the end
Yeah.
here in a
in
few.
a minute.
Yes, but I like the direction that Stephen Moffat is taking this. I think it's going to lead in beautifully to the 50th anniversary. However, I do not like the interaction between the Doctor and Clara. There's something about Clara that I just don't like, and I don't know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I haven't really, thought about it enough to realize why I don't like her. And maybe it's because she's too comfortable with the Doctor. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
Maybe
she got really comfortable really quickly, and it's I don't know, it's shocking.
that
And I think that's something I don't like, is that she's really comfortable really quickly.
Yeah.
that could be a thing. Although it could be something, I don't know. I feel like
Well,
all their interactions are important. So I feel like, yeah, that is kind of weird, but it might be
yeah,
one of those things that later clicks and kind of like, okay, that makes sense.
yes. Another thing I've been hearing a lot of slack about, and this is kind of a side note, but a lot of people have been discussing throwaway lines in Doctor Who. And being an actor, the number one thing is that every line means something. The author does not sit down and just type a line and says, "Huh, oh well, I'm just going to leave it in there." No, he puts the line in there for a reason. And a lot of people are saying that when Clara says, out of 1 through 10, how does she like this between a number 1 through 10, and she says 11, that means something. There's something behind that.
Yeah.
She's mentioned
There's something
11
behind.
before too. We're hearing a lot of wind in your
Yeah,
microphone.
sorry, I'm gonna migrate inside here. Just give me a sec. But
All right.
yes, the throwaway lines, quote unquote, are absolutely unbearable, and I think they should leave that whole idea behind. Um, I'll sit over here.
One quick
And
thing. Oh, go
Okay.
ahead, James.
oh, I was going to say my favorite audio adventure is Spare Parts, because it explores the beginning of the Cybermen, and we finally realized that the Cybermen were actually modeled after the Doctor, which is a very unusual side note.
Which
Huh.
doctor stars in that one? I have not.
Interesting.
The fifth Doctor.
Fifth doc. That's okay. Um, One more thing before we get into discussing the series 7 part 2. Quickly, least favorite doctor and a quick reason why.
Oh. Okay.
Well, okay, I can go first, or Alexis, if you want to go
No,
first.
you can go.
Okay. Peter Davison is my least favorite Doctor, mostly because all of his television, excuse me, his television appearances have been incredibly boring, and I can't get into them. I don't like I don't like his Doctor's interaction with his companions. I don't like the companions. I like the Doctor. So there's that.
Okay. Um, and I know I said this last week, but now I feel like I have a better formulated reason. It's the 10th Doctor, and I like David Tennant. And
You are an abomination.
hold on, hold on. I have no, no. It's still on the top of my priority list, James. Don't worry, it's okay.
One reason, love and monsters.
Okay, okay. So I actually had a discussion with my friend about this, and we were like, I can't place why I don't like him as much as everybody else. And I figured out is because I do not like his interaction with his companions, except for Donna,
I
because
love Donna.
I
Donna's an
I
excellent companion.
I do get
him
where
and
you're coming
Catherine
from.
Tate work perfect
They
together.
do.
Yes,
But then the
especially in the Children in Need special. Lauren Cooper and the Doctor was.
yes,
Oh, yes. Am I bothered? Do I look bothered? Am I
fight me,
bothered?
alien boy.
And then she just starts quoting off Shakespeare, and yeah.
And that's
And then he
when.
turns her into a doll of Billy Piper.
Yeah, I just found myself not buying his thing with Billy Piper. Like they were cute together, but
Yeah.
I just was like meh. And then him and Martha, we all know that they had their problems.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was too stuck on Rose, and that's one thing that bothered me about David Tennant. Um, let's see. My favorite Doctor, I have to agree with James. Peter Davison.
Hardy?
Whoa.
Yes. I can't go anywhere.
Peter Davison, pretty much for the same reasons that James stated. It's his stories were way too slow for me. I have not. I was, and granted, The Caves of Androzani is rated number one on the list of top classic Who serials, and I had a hard time sitting through that one. I had to restart it 4 or 5 times before I went all the way through.
Yeah.
Um, the ending was great, I'll give it that, but yeah, it was really, really dry. And I've tried watching others. The Visitation I thought was incredibly dry, and
Yes. I turned on Planet of Fire the other night just because I thought it would be a nice random episode watch, and started out with
Chameleon.
Chameleon and Vizsla Turlo. So
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah,
Chameleon, my
God.
favorite.
And they don't even explain why Chameleon just disappears for several story arcs at a time, and then randomly
He's
makes an appearance here and there.
Yeah, he's just hiding out in the
Yeah.
TARDIS.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so what did we all think? Okay, let's start off with saying what we liked about Journey to the Center of the Stars, if anything.
Well, Scott, you want to go first?
yes, I shall go first. What I liked. I liked the fact that we heard the classic Doctor's voices in a couple scenes.
Very, very
I
brief second.
very very brief, too brief, but I love the fact that we got to see more of the interior of the TARDIS. The library was very very well designed. We got to see the
Yes.
pool, the observatory, and also my favorite room that I got to see, which was the Eye of Harmony room, which uh, did a lot more justice to the Eye of Harmony than the movie did. Oh,
See, I have a theory about the Eye of Harmony room, and I think that the room that the Eighth Doctor visited was actually on top of the Eye of Harmony room that we saw,
that makes
which would
sense.
which would explain
Oh,
why when the eye opened, you saw the bright, blinding light. Well, that could only mean that it would be on top of the decaying star, which would give it easier access to the eye itself. So
That does make a ton of sense.
that
exactly
does.
mean that they were in the official Eye of Harmony. I don't know. I don't know which, the visitor center. I don't know. It was a
I
shortcut to the engine room. So I mean, they had to go through the Eye of Harmony to
yeah.
get to the engine room. So
And not to cut in, I just want to apologize to the listeners. I had a little bit of lag there for a second. So
Oh,
okay,
okay. So,
groovy.
um, do you want
I
me
guess.
to go or does Scott want to go?
I just want.
Well, uh, well, let's see here. I mean, I can go if you want.
Go for it.
Okay. Um, well, the same thing with Scott. I mean, we heard about the TARDIS library in the movie. We saw a little bit of it with the Seventh Doctor, which is, well, we saw a little bit of it. I mean, that wasn't doing it any justice. And then in the audio adventure Neverland, we heard the Doctor was meeting or he was hiding out in the library. And he described the library, but that doesn't exactly, do justice to our imagination. So, um, seeing the library was a very awesome thing. Seeing the TARDIS pool again was a very awesome thing because I think in the last Sarah Jane episode, I don't know, I think it's the Time Invasion or the Invasion of Time or something like
Yes,
that.
the Invasion of Time.
Um,
Yeah, we did
we
see the
we
pool. We
saw the
have seen the
TARDIS
pool
pool,
before.
so
And it
it
was
was
very
nice to
beautiful
see the
looking.
TARDIS pool again. I don't know. It didn't do anything to further the mystery of Clara or who Clara is.
No,
However, we do know that she did or has or does know the doctor's name,
did.
which is, well, it could go anyway, you know. You
Yeah,
never know with the way that Stephen Moffat writes.
You
She
have a
could
very
still
good
remember
point.
shit. What?
who knows?
What?
Huh? What? Oh,
I have no
nothing.
idea what's going on
Uh,
right now.
Okay, okay.
yeah, I'm morbidly confused.
So,
So
I liked how everything, like everybody said, was designed, and I liked where the episode was going up until the end, which we'll discuss in our least favorite things. I really liked how they had the whole conversation that I've been waiting them to have, like, for lack of a better descriptor, like that heart to heart. It's like, what are you?
yeah,
And I was like, that,
finally he breaks down and decides that it's best to confront her in person, even though she may not know exactly.
yeah.
So
So,
yeah. Yay!
Do you have any least favorite things?
Oh,
Oh,
A lot.
yes.
I I'm sure I can agree with everybody that saw the episode and is listening to this podcast that I did not enjoy the ending at all. I thought it was a cheap way to get out of a sticky situation that they have the Doctor reset time, and it's exactly that. It's a cheap way to get out of a sticky situation. If they had remembered everything that had gone on, I think they remembered resetting time, but they didn't remember what happened before that. Um, so that would mean that the Doctor kind of erased himself from time momentarily and came back, which, is another one of Stephen Moffat's, groin blows, so to
new
speak.
fats.
Yeah, Stephen. Yeah, I'm slowly turning into my friend Moose because he says Moffat. So yeah, Moffat. Okay, so that's what I got to say.
Um,
Okay.
my the problems that I had with the episode, we did not get to see near as much of the TARDIS as I was hoping to.
Yeah.
As you guys know, and a lot of my friends know, I am currently, well, now I'm starting from scratch again, but I was building a Minecraft TARDIS,
Mm-hmm.
and I have an interior that is larger than the exterior. And I was really hoping to see a lot more room so I could add a lot more to the TARDIS. But um, one of the things I really didn't like was the fact that they were very vague on a lot of the situations. And one of the things I know a lot of people have complained about. Now, I understood it, and a couple of my friends understood it, and I'm sure you guys probably understood it. The fact that the Doctor didn't want the two brothers to be
Touching.
near each other, yeah, um, because that is how they died. And
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
he figured if they didn't touch each other, then time would not continue down the same path that it was going on, and he would save everyone. But a lot of people had a problem with that. God,
Time instantly corrected itself,
yeah, uh,
Yeah.
and definitely.
which also. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, which also presents the idea that not only can time be rewritten, but time can also correct itself. And it conflicts with a lot of the time travel theories that a lot of people have formulated. They said one of the theories is that the time can be rewritten theory, which, if something branches off from the normal stream of time, it branches off and creates its own parallel universe where instead of one choice, you made the other choice, and life continues on that way. And this episode also displayed the theory that, for the first time, that if time tried to, if time had been rewritten in some sort of way, it was being erased, then there were still fragments of that specific original time left. And that if anything occurred that happened in the original timeline, it would instantly correct itself, bringing it back to the original timeline instead of it being rewritten. So I thought that's kind of an interesting theory that was presented in this episode.
And definitely, I definitely agree with you, James. The big friendly button.
Yes.
Oh
I love I love
no,
the comic that I saw that was like it's the big friendly button and then it's like a picture of the easy button from like Staples.
but Moffat. I know that Moffat can write, and I know he can write well. What is going
Exactly.
on?
I don't
He
think he
wrote.
wrote this one.
No, you are right. But
Oh,
as
that's
far as
right.
yeah, he hasn't written really very many of them lately, and maybe
He is
that
writing.
is
He
the
is writing the last episode, I believe.
yeah, and maybe
And
that's the problem with the current season of Doctor Who. Because now, granted, my personal opinion, or series 7 has been leaps and bounds better than series 5 and 6. That's just personally. Now, I did not like the
Yeah.
first half, but especially the Power of Three. That was just awful.
Ugh.
Yeah, the
Sorry, I
only
just added a little in my mouth.
the only saving grace that the Power of Three had was the fact that it had a guest appearance by Professor Brian Cox, who I admire as a physicist. I just love his work. So,
Yes.
yeah,
well,
Alexis.
I was going to say like basically my biggest problem is that I might have been able to forgive everything else in it if the whole episode wouldn't have basically been, useless. It's kind of one of those
Yes.
things where, you see this show and it's like, oh, but I just woke up and that was all a dream or
It was
whatever.
making so much.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yes, it was making so much progress as an episode and as a season, and then they just went back and erased everything. You know, it was going down a good path until the ending when it just sucked. It felt like a filler episode. It went from
That
being a really good episode to a filler episode.
and this, people listening, is why we need arcs like in Classic Who. He could have left us on
Hmm.
a cliffhanger, fleshed out the episodes a little bit more, given us a lot more of what we really wanted to see, which was inside of the TARDIS, uh, getting a little closer to figuring out the mystery of Clara, and
I was
finding another
so
way out that wasn't a big, easy, friendly button.
I was so looking forward to seeing some of the classic rooms from the TARDIS originally. Like, the Fourth Doctor, reading the book Shada, of the novelization of Shada. There is a room in the TARDIS, and it could still exist, that was nothing but jelly babies, and it was a
Ha!
room dedicated to everything jelly babies. And that's why the Doctor
It
always
should
had so
still
many,
exist.
because he had a giant room of jelly babies.
Oh,
And
and go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, plus on top of that, you got Romana's room. You got Amy and Rory's room. Clara went to the storage closet where she saw Amy and Rory's TARDIS, and she saw the Doctor's cradle, which I originally thought that was Amy and Rory's room, but apparently it wasn't. But yeah, go ahead, Scott.
This is a little off topic, but it does still relate to Doctor Who. Any of you people out there who play PlayStation Home, I know you probably know it's out there. The Doctor Who pack, definitely, definitely, it is so worth the $10 to buy. You get the 11th Doctor outfit, the Sonic Screwdriver. You get River Song's outfit. You get a Silurian costume as well as a Silence costume, and of course, access to your own personal TARDIS. They do have a couple of classic rooms in there. They have the bedroom from the Fourth Doctor's era. They also have I think it was the Zero room from Castrovalva.
Yes.
They have, and there is a completely white room and many, 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 many creepy, creepy hallways. It is awesome.
I One of the other things I didn't like about this episode is, well, one of the many things I didn't like, the engine room, the completely blank white engine room. I did not understand that bit at all. Maybe if I go back and rewatch the episode, I'll pick up on it. But I
Yeah,
didn't
like
understand
I
the
didn't get it
concept.
either.
it looked cool, but it made no sense.
Yes,
Is it
it looked a lot like the Zero room, but I mean, it didn't make sense at all. It was just all white.
the what I just thought of is maybe he had to suspend it outside of reality, the
Well,
engine.
that would make
That
sense.
that would
Oh,
make sense if that would have been explained, and I think it would have been easily accepted. But um,
yeah, then that would have been fine.
that would have
Yeah,
been
I
the
think.
only way to explain that. I think is having to suspend the engine outside of reality itself.
Yeah, that would have been
Oh, I think James cut out.
Oh,
perfect.
Oh,
oh, is that James? No.
well, James will be back with
Anyway,
us hopefully shortly.
hopefully soon.
Hello,
There he
So,
is.
hello.
ha,
There I am. Okay. Did you guys enjoy the little cameo appearance by the crack in the wall?
yeah.
Yes.
James, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Maybe.
Can you hear
Maybe,
him? I can hear him.
maybe it's James from last week. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I know. The Wi-Fi over here is going crazy. I apologize. I apologize to my listeners if
There's not
I am
anything in your
creating.
Wi-Fi, is there?
There,
Oh
I want to go
well,
there's
test.
enemies in your life.
there's this new Wi-Fi connection that it has really good signal, but I clicked on it and I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am, where I am, where am I, where am I?
Don't worry, James. We'll save you.
Find your own
Yes.
way out.
Oh, thanks.
I
Gosh.
I'm sorry. I cannot do an 11th Doctor accent. That is the one. I can say maybe one phrase in his voice, and that's it. I just cannot do it. Maybe it's because I don't have the outfit. Yeah.
Maybe that
Hey,
could be it.
Hmm.
So, what
Yes.
right.
is
So,
our
um,
next point
now,
of?
now is there? Let's see. So we talked about everybody's favorite and least favorite things. Um, So, what are you expecting from like the next few episodes?
Well, I'm going to let you guys talk about that because I actually have some spoilers that may or
Okay.
may not be true about the upcoming episodes.
I think I know what spoilers you're talking about, and yes, they are quite awesome. I'm personally next couple episodes next week is that the Crimson Horror,
Yes.
if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, and then after that is the Name of the Doctor, correct?
The
Hmm.
silver, you forgot the
Oh
silver
yeah,
Oh,
the
Cyberman
silver.
episode.
Yeah. Okay. The next few episodes, I have no idea what's going to be going on in the Crimson Horror. I have not looked up anything about that,
Did
and
you
I
know
about
that
the Crimson Horror.
Captain Strax and Vastra and Jenny will be back?
awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
And
Um,
sorry, just
I
one thing
go ahead.
about Clara. I know we have had multiple Claras before. There is a theory, and it looks to be true that this is there will be a new Clara introduced because she has a different outfit and it looks like she's from. It looks Victorian for the
Yeah.
episode, but we're also somebody pointed out online that it was very Elizabethan looking, which could
Yes.
be a completely
Okay.
different thing. It's a possibility,
Yes.
Okay.
but
The things
Um,
I'm looking forward to in the next few episodes, the Crimson Horror. Uh, I guess I'm looking
sounds very
forward to seeing.
Sherlockian.
I'm looking forward to seeing Strax again. It's so very odd to see a funny Centauran. Uh,
yeah, I'm
um,
excited for the whole all three of them to return.
yes.
I think they should
Definitely
have a spin-off.
the Silver Nemesis. Am I correct in that?
Nightmare, I think.
No, that's a
So,
Sylvester McCoy episode.
oh, you're right. The Silver Nightmare.
Hmm.
I think that sounds about
That,
right.
Okay. Nightmare in Silver. Okay, here we go.
That's it.
there
I
we go.
really cannot wait to see the redesigned Cybermen in action. I love the fact that they are looking a lot like a nice hybrid between classic and New Who. Um,
Yes.
as far as that, I have no idea
I
what the plot's going to be.
I don't know. I'm only excited for this episode because Neil Gaiman is
Oh
writing it.
yes,
Oh,
he's a
finally.
fantastic writer.
He's
And
amazing. Yes. So I'm hoping he can breathe like some new life into the Cybermen.
Oh God, I hope so.
then of
Because usually
course,
Cybermen were just filler episodes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in New Who. In
Oh
classic,
yeah.
they weren't as bad, but and Name of the Doctor. Personally, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. I personally want them to give it away, and now I've heard a rumor
No,
not
I
going to
know.
give it away, but um, personally, I really think the show could go on if we knew the Doctor's name. The show's plot is not rotating around the fact that we don't know the Doctor's name. Yeah, it adds a
Yeah.
little bit of mystery to it, but it's been 50 years, and who knows if it's going to make it another 50 years? I honestly hope it does.
Exactly.
If it
Who
stays,
knows?
if it goes in the right direction, if it starts
Yes.
becoming, if it keeps going
Great.
down the path it's going, I really don't think it'll last
Probably not.
50 years. But yeah, I would like to know it. I know I said this last week, but in one of the novelizations, they gave away a name. It's not part of canon. It's also very long and hard for me to pronounce, so I'm not even going to attempt. I'll just give the shortened version, Christo.
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 Or
Not
Crisco.
Crisco, but
Crisco.
Christo.
Yes, Christo.
He's
Uh,
a slippery
I-
one.
Christo de Longbarrow is his name in the novel. Like I said, not part of canon, not part of that at all. So, uh,
Yeah, I would. Oh, go on.
no, I was handing it off to passing the baton, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know it too because I don't think it would ruin the show if it's done, in the right way. But I
Yes.
still don't think we're gonna know.
No, I don't think we
Well,
either.
you never know. Um, are you guys okay with me giving away some spoilers?
Yeah, so
Yes, please.
if you don't want to hear spoilers, you might want to,
Put it
go
on
away.
mute momentarily.
For
Yeah.
It'll be
about
about
5 or 6 minutes.
5 or 6 minutes, something like that. Um, give me just a second. I'm gonna
Or
open up the article and read it word for word. Hopefully, if not, if I can't find it, I can easily just tell you guys from memory.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
should
here we go.
also, if you find it, give us the link because
Okay,
I would like to see this.
sending the link your way now. All right, so we have been waiting all season with the big question, Doctor Who. So, the whistleblower, which I don't know the exact validity of it. I don't know if it's a blog. I don't know if it's somebody who actually knows and is, revealing the big question. So, I'm going to read this article. It's kind of short, word for word, and let you guys decide what you guys want to decide. This is the synopsis of the name of the doctor. Clara is privy to a conversation she'd rather not have heard. Something rings a bell in her head, though. She is remembering the unrememberable. The doctor is forced to travel to Trenzalore, which is not what you think it is, with River Song and Clara. They must enter something they know is a trap. The spring is the doctor's name. We do not hear this, but River speaks it. It is a trap laid by the great intelligence. He has all the Doctor's past trapped in a Pandorica-like prison and only needs the 11th Doctor to finish the job. All the other Doctors feature. Clara tries to save the Doctor, but is splintered in time similar to the Jaggeroth, which is in the City of Death. These are the others Clara's met by the Doctor. It ends with another Doctor no one knew existed being released from the time lock. This leads into the special episode. That is all this says. There have been press photos released with John Hurt, I believe that is his name, in a very
Oh,
Victorian costume, very similar to the Eighth Doctor, but also in a leather jacket, very similar to the Ninth Doctor, which leads to maybe there was an incarnation between the Eighth and Ninth Doctor that no one knew about. This also leads into Clara's big catchphrase this season: "Remember, remember, you silly boy, remember." And run. That was another one of her things. So remember and run are the big topics. I think Scott just fell over. Scott, are
No,
you
yeah, that was
awake?
that
my
wasn't me.
fault. I apologize.
That was not
That's
me.
okay. I thought Scott fainted.
It
I'm like, oh God,
it
get Scott
it,
some water.
it
All
may
right.
be very late as we're recording this, but
No, no,
I'm not passing out yet.
I dropped. I mean,
Oh,
I,
that's
yeah.
that's okay. But
Sorry.
anyway, the big
Can't wait to
question
see
is
John
whether or
Hurt.
not this is the actual thing, or whether or not this is just some sort of fan made theory spoilers sent out there by some
Oh,
fans to stir up the big thing. But
okay.
this is supposed to lead into the big episode, and I don't know if they're going to use clips from other doctors. I don't know if they're actually going to get the other doctors, which would be awesomely fun if they actually got the other doctors.
I don't think they're gonna get them to appear.
Yeah.
What my guess is, and I've heard a lot of talk about using CGI to replace the doctors because they've aged. I think they could get at least several of the classic doctors to do voiceovers and probably use stock sounds from the first three in some way,
Well,
shape,
that
or
could work.
form.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did in there was a Sixth Doctor
The
audio,
five.
or no, that was God. What was the name of that special episode with the Eighth Doctor, the Seventh Doctor, the Sixth Doctor, and the Fifth Doctor?
Oh, that was
Zagreus.
audio adventure.
Zagreus. Yes, but kind of like they did in Zagreus, where they had the Third Doctor and they used stock
Stock, yeah, stock
sounds,
of the third Doctor to yeah, fill in for him,
which was
which is
nice.
very very quiet since I have
Yeah,
Zagreus. It's a very very faint voice,
I
but it
did
is
not
John
notice it at
Pertwee's
all the
voice.
first time I listened to it.
Hmm.
Really?
I
Oh,
was looking for it, like I was
yeah,
really hunting for it, but
yeah, very very
That.
quiet though.
Yeah.
But
That is interesting, and I gotta wonder. It does look like just a random blog, but it's like these seem very specific. So it's like, what have you seen something? Have you seen like filming? What?
well, I mean,
Yeah. Well, no, like on this person's blog,
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, he or she could be a person working for the BBC and could go undercover and or pass the information off to somebody else and have them blog so it doesn't come back to them. It could be just a fan made theory and they could all be yanking our legs. However,
Yeah.
it does support a lot of fan made theories out there,
And
and
it
it
makes sense.
yes, And it does make a lot of sense and explains why Clara's been all over the place. And it brings the great intelligence thing back to a full circle.
Yeah. How would you guys feel about having like a Doctor 8.5? That's what I'm gonna call him for now.
No, personally, no.
I don't think fans will accept him. An alternate reality doctor, maybe, but I
Kind of
don't
like
think fans will accept him as canon.
something like the Valyard, maybe. I could see accepting, but yeah, an actual incarnation in between, no, no.
Well, he could be a drastically aged eight doctor too. He does have the vest and he does have the leather jacket. However, the eighth doctor was still young when he made the costume change. So,
It's
I
true.
mean, we will never know, and well, we won't know until the November, I guess, or we
Yeah,
won't know until a couple of weeks from now.
Hopefully, a couple of weeks. I
I
can't take this
I think
anymore.
I think they're
Yeah,
gonna push it till November before we find out anything
Before we find out
of merit.
anything concrete.
yeah.
Yeah.
But however, Paul McGann has said something about he might be coming back for the 50th anniversary, which would be amazing
Oh, if they
since
could.
he could get a redemption in screen time.
I
Yes.
think
Well, and I
that
wish they would do that with Colin Baker, but he's now too old and looks nothing like he did when he donned the coat originally. But they could always write that away like they did with Peter Davison and all that.
Yes, yes. So fantastic. What's next?
I I think unless anybody has any other discussions, that is it. All I gotta
I,
say is I think most of the fandom will like jump off a cliff if they have to start renumbering things.
Yes.
yeah, I
Oh,
know a lot of costumers will.
I do have a couple plugs that I would like to do.
Oh, yes.
And these are personal opinions. I'm not getting paid to say this. Trust me.
Yeah.
They
Oh, I'm paying you.
well, actually, you're not,
Just kidding.
James.
I don't actually.
I'm poor, but and if you guys if any of the people that I'm talking about here want to pay me for my opinion, that would be fantastic. But
And me as well.
um,
I'm
no,
happy to be a paid talking head.
I'm paid spokesperson. Yes.
I would like to say there are two companies I would like to plug right now that really really awesome for me. The first and foremost, the biggest, is going to be Big Finish. I am so glad that they are doing what they are doing with the classic series. They've had Fourth Doctor Adventures, Fifth Doctor, Sixth Doctor, Seventh Doctor, Eighth Doctor, Ninth Doctor, and I believe
Finally.
10th Doctor as well.
Yes. He
And
has
they've
been
also
doing
had
audio just for a while.
and I know Tom Baker started doing them recently as well, but they've also had Companion Chronicles, just a myriad of Doctor Who audios, which is
Yes.
fantastic. And the other company, Underground Toys. Uh, I
For
ordered
their yes. Go
character
ahead, sorry.
options. Character options, excuse me. Character options limited. I ordered a Six Doctor action figure with the Stealth Cyberman from Attack of the Cybermen. And I really have to say, these are some of the most incredibly detailed action figures I have ever seen. I mean, it is a stunning likeness to Colin Baker.
None of
Uh,
this American shit that you can buy.
yeah,
I mean, this is
Uh,
all these guys take pride in what they do. I have a
they
Seventh
they
Doctor
do.
action figure that is absolutely amazing.
And the nice thing is there are so many articulation points. You have the hips. You have I don't know why it is in the middle of the thigh. No idea, but that can twist the knee. Um, let's see. You can the bicep for some reason as well. The elbow, the neck, the waist, and the hands are all fully movable, which is awesome. The one thing that kind of uh, the Cyberman from it is a little darker than I think he is supposed to be. Now, granted, the Stealth Cyberman was a darker Cyberman, but this Cyberman is pretty much black.
Yeah.
But he's still very, very well detailed and well modeled. Just incredible. And he comes with some sort of blaster, and the Sixth Doctor comes with some sort of scanner. It's not. I was hoping it would have been the Sonic Lance, but it is not. So, anything else that you guys
I,
want to say before? you sign off.
Well, I would like to shamelessly plug Whobraska, which is our the Who group that we have here in Nebraska. We have a Facebook group currently, and we are currently putting on a convention next year called British Fest, which will take place in Omaha, Nebraska, celebrating everything British, from British science fiction and television to literature and radio dramas, anything British that you can think of. We've got it. Um, Look us up at www.britishfest.com. I believe that is the name of the website.
Yep,
Um,
Yeah.
best.com.
the con will not actually take place until 2014, which will have plenty more podcasts before then.
Yeah.
Um,
And you should all go in honor of me because I'm not sure I'll be able to go. So go
Oh,
for
come on.
me.
Take time for it.
oh yes.
You know,
I
people.
might be traveling and being other places in the world at that time.
Oh,
Well,
you
we'll
can make it
cross our
back to
fingers
Omaha
and
for
hope that you
three
can come
days.
and join
I'll
us.
try to finagle it in, but I
It
I
should be
make no
fun.
promises.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
Well, I would like to shamelessly plug, like everybody else is doing, if I can get my nose unplugged, is I am going to be at Ozfest in Nebraska this year.
oh, so are we?
Yep,
Well,
Yes,
me. I am at least.
I will be. I have already requested the days off, and I will be there. Hopefully, in my new cotton Six Doctor coat.
I will be. And so if you want to see my information and post about that, you should go to madgeekgirl.com. So that's a thing that you should all check out because we have this amazing new book blogger there who does these fantastic book reviews and not exactly who related, although I do posts and stuff like that. But she's her name's Stephanie and she's funny and very smart and just a joy to read from. So you should all go give her some love.
Definitely.
And if you find at Ozfest or NebraskaCon a 5 foot tall, small black lady in a Victorian barmaid outfit or as Shell from Portal or anything, just be like, I know you and I listen to your podcast. And if you don't go up to the wrong person, they'll probably, hug you or at least say hi.
or the tallest Sylvester McCoy impersonator you will ever see in your life. That is a
Or
very good observation.
you'll know me. You will be able to see me for about a mile away. My coat is atrociously bad, which makes it perfect for the Sixth Doctor.
I think I actually mentally vomited when I first saw your coat in person.
Wasn't it awesome?
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. I mentally vomited, and then I was like, "That's beautiful."
That's beautiful.
I really hope you can get your Ultimate Adventure coat done, James. I
Oh yes, it
really
will
want
be
to see
done
it.
by Ozfest. I
Ah,
will make sure it's done by Ozfest.
and I want to try it on and see how I look because I'll have the rest of the outfit anyway. So,
And
Oh
my
yes.
all
and
right.
my scarf better be done by Ozfest. If not, I'll cry.
Yeah.
And I want to see that too because I have
I
not seen a crocheted Fourth Doctor scarf in person before. So I would like
Oh
to
God,
see.
no, I'll definitely at least be carrying it around. It should be done.
We'll cross our fingers.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend, the friend who taught me how to crochet is like, if you get down to the wire and can't finish it, just tell me. And she's like, I'll help somehow.
It's it's probably a lot quicker than knitting though.
It
Oh,
is. It's
so
fairly.
Yeah.
so many
Well,
months.
All right.
we should sign off for the night.
We
Yes, I
are.
think so.
Next
All right.
week, we'll be talking about the new episode again.
The
And
Crimson
I'm going
Crimson
to
Horror,
Horror.
not horror, but horror.
Yes, that's what I said.
Well,
what?
yeah, just the Crimson Horror.
Yes, the Crimson Horror.
Irene Adler, the Crimson Horror.
Oh,
Oh, we're crossing fandoms now. It's like crossing the streams. We shouldn't. We
no.
really shouldn't.
We're going to create some sort of paradox or something here. It's
Oh,
well,
speaking
good.
of paradox, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. Yes, many
oh
paradoxes
yes,
bother me. But
Yeah.
okay,
Paradisai.
we've
All
we've
right.
gone over this,
Par-
so
okay, so we are signing off and we'll see you again next week. Just um keep an eye out because we'll definitely be posting our next episode sooner this time. It just couldn't be done on Sunday
and
because life is
actually
crazy.
posting it this time.
Yes.
Woot.
All
Mood
right.
face.
Unless
Time
my
to...
computer for some reason has a massive crash.
No, don't even say it.
No, no,
Don't
no,
even,
no, no,
don't
I,
no,
even
I
say
trust my
no,
computer not to have a problem, but
no.
it.
I spent way too much money on this computer for it to do that.
All right. Well, we're signing off. So,
Yes.
Bye,
Good,
guys.
good night,
bye.
everyone.
Good
Well,
night or good morning,
good morning, good
wherever you
day.
are.
It's night here. It's a little past midnight, a half hour
Good
past midnight.
morning, Baltimore. I can't sing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
All right.
okay. It's fine. Maybe
Good
later.
night, everyone.
Night.